Hi, I'm Yaniv Bar-Dayan. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Vulcan Cyber, a company that focuses on helping large enterprises reduce cyber risk by remediating vulnerabilities quickly, automatically, and effectively. I think, when you look at my career specifically, it's like the regular story of the Israeli getting into cybersecurity. I was 18, got out of high school, was recruited to the Israeli Defense Forces, to a specific unit that handles cybersecurity and intelligence. Spent there 5 years doing some crazy things as a soldier and an officer, being 21, 22, commanding about 50 soldiers is something that you don't get to do in the civil life. When I was 23, I got discharged from the army, starting looking for new opportunities, and I slide into one of the biggest defense contractors in Israel, a company called Elbit. Today, it's Cybizlist already, a very big company. I started there as an SC and eventually grew to become a regional director and a senior director for marketing and sales. Learned a lot about how to take products to market, how to use the things I knew about technology and operations, and eventually deliver them to customers that are different than the regular government entity. And then after that, I felt ready, both me and my co-founders, and we went out to establish Vulcan and started in February 2018. It's been an amazing adventure with our seed investors and our A investors who also introduced us to here, 1011 Ventures. And now we are living this crazy dream of building a company and seeing how it grows. My two co-founders, Tal Morgenstern, who's running product, and Roy Chorev, who's running tech. There's some kind of crazy story on how we met. Tal and me, actually, we worked together for 4 years in my previous employer, Cyberbit and Elbit Systems. Tal was heading product, I was leading marketing and sales, and eventually we came together on a stage in front of 2,500 people, going in and giving like this 45-hour talk after who is still the Prime Minister of Israel, Bibi Netanyahu, and then we became friends. And we started saying to ourselves, okay, we need to do something together. We actually sat every week for almost a year, every Wednesday, on a good pint of beer, and started juggling ideas. But we felt like we need another person to this duo. And Roy, I actually know him through his sister. Before I started studying in university, I went traveling in the Annapurna circuit in Nepal. And it was a two weeks trek, and I met Roy's sister there. We became very, very, very good friends. And when I told her that I'm starting the company, she told me, listen, you have to meet my brother. Just have to meet him. He is the perfect fit for you and Tal. We arranged a meeting. It was like, something gift from God that came in, and since then the rest is history. To understand what we do, we need to first of all look at the macro state of the cybersecurity industry. Eventually, there is one single point that divides technologies in the industry. Technologies that are focused on what's happening after a breach, after hackers come in, so how we detect it, how we respond to this attacker, and how eventually do we kick him or her out of the network. And technologies that are coming prior to a breach and are trying to focus on how we can make sure that the holes that we have in our systems, these areas or these sections where the hackers are able to get in through, are actually not there and fixed. This is where Vulcan comes into play. What Vulcan does differently than any other company is that we're not focusing on finding these holes or prioritizing these holes. We're actually focusing on fixing these problems. So we ingest a lot of data from a lot of different tools, both from the security space, but also from the IT, DevOps, and R&D space. We enrich it with intelligence that we gather on how to solve the problems that these tools are finding. And eventually we know how to drive remediation and actually fix these issues with the tools that are already being used by the native teams. So eventually you don't really have to deploy anything. All you have to do is plug us into all of these tools. And then what we do is that we drive through these tools with the data that we have to resolve the problem and not just alert it or just prioritize it. Two main plans. One is growing the company in both sides, the San Francisco side and the Tel Aviv side, increasing our engineering power that will allow us to build more innovative features and deliver them to our customers. And on the other hand, having the ability to actually take these to market. So growing our sales team, growing our marketing team, growing our customer success team, which is a very important ingredient. It's not just, bringing in new logos, putting the technology there and let it stay. You want to make sure that your customers are bringing value and getting value from the platform. And this will correlate eventually to other financial goals, from how much revenues we're going to make to how much customers we're going to have. And I would assume that in 2020 sometime we're going to also add a bit of more capital to the company.